His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country, so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Comot Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. If that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, practically dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you Weah vex that you will stop the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, you are falling in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commends the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Coma today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to proud in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never ever in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never ever. George Weah would never ever. George Weah would never ever. Would never ever. Never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever. Never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever. Never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever. Never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever. Never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever. Never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever. Never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their SAR is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
God Almighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe, the God who keeps watch over Kings 88.5 institutionally, and the God who keeps watch over each and every person making up the small, unique, but effective family of Kings 88.5. The God who keeps watch over each and everybody. That same God is with us this afternoon. We acknowledge him. He is good. He is faithful. He's the God of justice. But he's the God who hates dictatorial, despotic, tyrannic rulers like Nebuchadnezzar and the rest. If you are that ruler or share the characteristics of Nebuchadnezzar, Judo Christopher, you will have to have a second thought so that God does not punish you as he punished Nebuchadnezzar. He had to eat grass, went naked for 3 years. We are grateful to God Almighty. So it's another day. It's called Monday, the 5th, oh, no, not fast forwarding, but the second day of February 2026. January off, it is history. February has come to be history, and then March will come to be history. And then what happened? We will be talking about 2027. The government don't have much time, least to say enough time yet. In life, when you overlook time, you take time not to be anything of prime significance, or you have time putting on the misconception like those converted, those diaspora Jews thought that they could mark time, they could mark places, they could determine the future, so they were relaxed until life fell against them. At the time they wanted to do, it was late. So it is with this government and Unity Party. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate all of you that you join us for the show. Real Talk, Kings 88.5.
Flexible General, Bombing County, Clady Addison, Delaware, USA, Saturday Woodywell, Atlanta, Georgia, USA, Royal Rogers, Musa A. Sharif, Sophie Community, Congo Town, Philip Tokba, Dallas, Texas, Augustus Johnson, Ocean View Community, Asata Miller, Red Light, James Docker, Batnusville, the Palace of the Regime Speaker, Fred Pega, 11th Street, Sinker, Jack Foley Tombikai, Bible College, Junction. You've been off for a while, Jack Foley. Hope that everything is okay with you. Otello Ramsey Gatti, Batnusville Junction, Keita Sekou, Jacob Kwayi, Youth Alliance, Do Community, Fatu Konen, Magibi County, Precious Dekukai, Tinkers Village, Sonia Beach Community. Good to have you on. Paris Lobot, New Jersey, USA, J. Lawrence Suar. Yes, that's true. John Towelli, SKD Boulevard Junction, Heron T. Toll, Carwell, Jeremiah Labla, Gaza, So Clinic Gaza, Gaza Strip, Betty Gue, Sunny Kwele, Nima County, David Williams, Colorado, USA, Venetians Bar, Nukutan, Claude de Paul. Yes, that is true. Venetians, Ansu Famule, New York City, Malu Fofana, 20th Street Sinker, the governor of 20th Street, Malu Fofana, Quinley Banks, Molton Corner Road, that's Broadville, Matthew D. Yahweh, District 4, Grand Bassa County, Jukonti Chied, Business Center, Usman Saul, Business Center, Gale Street, Central Morovia, Orita Jikla, your office, Patricia Zia, your office, and Rita Christine Hitz, Massachusetts, the USA. My dear sister Rita Sunday Choir, you are on. Good to have you on. I hope that you are faring well. All of you great people. Marilyn Weir, Batnusville, Keba. All of you people, thank you for coming on. But we can get started without bringing on the chairman, the melting pot chairman, chairman for life, the reference point chairman, the common chairman, Roman Rico, Kenneth Ball, or Latupan for short. Another initiative he has taken on in the community. Every weekend he caters to the children. What a visionary leader he is. Every weekend, from installing internet for the people of his locale and surrounding area, he has not moved to the second phase to take care of the children, bringing them materials of all kinds to refresh themselves, make them feel good. Then imagine those parents children whose parents are not seditious, but they will criticize CDC and see CDC man doing something for the children, taking their children to another level. What do you think going to happen? It will sway their opinion and say we can lean on the side of George Weah. If George Weah man can do this, listen, simple things get people believing in you and coming on your side. Where we are with this warfare, it is what you do. It's about swaying opinion. It's about the mind. It's about the mind. We can talk 2029. Yes, you'll be right, but 2029 is future. The present is now. What you do with the present determines 2029. 2029 is already set. 2029 is supernatural. 2029 is supernatural. Today is natural. You have today. Do whatever you can within your ability to sway. If today, February 2nd, you can get a person coming on the side of George Weah, you have done more than well. Tomorrow, the 4th, you can get another person coming on the side of George Weah. 1 week, 1 month, see how many persons you will have. Increase or add to the already existing number. God has his own number for George Weah. God works. In Acts, they say, and God added to the church. But before God added to the church, the people gave him reason to add. They were acting. So he only added to what they already started. God works for and on behalf of George Weah. God has his own people that he's bringing in, but we will have to start. When God sees that now, then he works. God works in everything, everywhere, at any time. His hands are never off anything. God is involved in politics. He's involved with religion. He's involved with social activities. He's involved with anything humanity. He's involved. That's why he said, in everything, you acknowledge him, meaning he can come in. Yeah? So God has the number for George Weah. George Weah himself is working it out. He's working it out. So they support us. You work out yours on behalf of Weah, and God will do his. Roma Rico, in his community, he's taking on these initiatives, not to please anybody, but to get people on the side of George Weah as a die-hard supporter of George Weah. I told you the last time, that's what you do. We all can talk. Yeah, 2029 with Mubwaka. 2020, I can say that 5 million times on this radio. But if I am doing nothing, it will make no impact whatsoever. The Unity Party people say they will retain power. They're not saying that they can say that 1 million times, and if they do nothing, it will just be an empty statement. The statement is one thing, the excitement is another thing, but what proves or convinced people aids your action. He said, by the fruit we will see, not only the talking, match words with action. Again, we thank you. Just so you know, not only Chairman Roma Rico or Kenneth Ball or Latupa, but once we know in your area what you're doing, what initiative you are taking politically toward getting people on the side of George Weah for 2029, increasing the number, adding the number, that will be flagged. We'll talk about it because the initiative is good. That's what is required in politics, especially going into electioneering politics. Thank you all. The basket, we left it with you. I told you last week, Friday, that we're leaving the basket with you, and the basket is still with you. Take care of it. You are the only person who can unlock the basket. You already know the code. 0555 885 885, 0555 885 885, 0777 017 885. You want to unlock the basket and drop in the basket the code 0555 885 885, 0777 017 885. Please do as you have always, and thank you for being so supportive and receptive as always. Before we get to what we've got on our plate, our partners, Radio Entertainment Liberia through us, is giving you money. Every day they give you money. Every day is a way of bringing you out of your suffering, out of your lack, just out of everything you are faced with. Without money, you are dead. Not literal death, but you are dispirited. With money, you are alive. Money is good. Money is everything. Never allow anybody to make you that to feel that money is not good. That's lie. God in heaven, who created all of us, before he created us, he created money. And money and human being go together. Money and existence go together. Without money, you are dead. With money, you are alive. So you need money. It's 4,000, and you already know. That's what they told us. You're only playing for 4,000, and then they gave you 4,000 free. We can say it more than it is. You play 4,000. That's what you're playing for. And then they will give you extra 4,000 because you play. They pay you for playing. You put in the code *799*24#. That's all. And then you deposit just a very small, very, very small amount. You don't need to put 300, 400, 350, 500. No, you only need to put a very, very small money, and that small money will give you big money. 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents US. That's all. You play as many times as you can. Listen, there are people who are saying that if you listen to the radio stations, the entire country now is a gambling country. Everybody, you hear an answer say the code is this, the amount this. So when you're listening to that, you think that it is not necessary to do. Listen, it is not sin. It is not a violation. It is for your livelihood. People who will tell you not to do this, they will not help you. Just do a survey of you for yourself. Every person who tell you, my man, this thing not good, they will never give an alternative that this is what I'm doing for you so that you don't do this. They will tell you it's not right. When you stop and you're not getting money, nothing happening at all, your life just going down, they will be the same people to say you sitting and B-mail you don't want to look for a job, you don't want to do nothing, you're just moving around, they will start terming you as beggar. Life is about opportunities, and this is one of several opportunities. Take advantage of it, get money to solve. I cannot tell you how many people have sent their children to school, pay their boy, the girl, university, the school fee, pay their rent. It has helped thousands of people. Those people who are saying that to discourage you, when you don't have a dime in the pocket, go ask them and see what they will tell you. You'll feel sorry for yourself. Don't mind those things. Continue to play, yeah? Put in the code, *79 and *24#. And then your deposit 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents US. That's all. And then you withdraw 8,000. 4,000 gives you 8,000. Play as many times as you can. Let's get to developments unfolding here. A Nigerian hospital has denied claims that it lacked life-saving anti-snake venom following the death of a young girl from a snake bite, a case that has sparked intense debate online about the state of emergency healthcare in the country. The family of the lady says she was taken to 2 hospitals after being bitten on January 31st, but was unable to receive anti-snake venom. However, the Federal Medical Center, Abuja, says this claim is false. In a statement, FMC said the young lady was treated with polyvalent anti-snake venom and received emergency care, including oxygen, intravenous fluids, and resuscitation. The hospital said she later developed severe neurotoxic complications and died despite efforts to stabilize her and transfer her to intensive care. The hospital described the report that anti-snake venom was unavailable as unfounded. A massive landslide at Rubaya Coltan mines in eastern Congo has left more than 200 people dead. That's according to M23 rebel authorities. The collapse, triggered by heavy rains on Wednesday, buried multiple artisanal mining sites. Many victims remain trapped in the mud, while injured survivors have been evacuated to nearby health facilities with plans to transfer the wounded to Goma. In response, the rebel-appointed governor of North Kivu province has suspended artisanal mining in the area and ordered residents living near the mine to relocate. The United States Department Bureau of African Affairs says Washington is pursuing renewed cooperation with Mali and its neighbors, including Burkina Faso and Niger, with a focus on security and economic partnership. According to the department, a senior official is traveling to Bamako to reaffirm America's respect for Mali's sovereignty and express its commitment to resetting bilateral ties and moving beyond past policy missteps. The Abidjan Plateau Court of First Instance has sentenced former Malian lawmaker and CNT member Mahamadou Gassama to 3 years in jail for insulting Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara. The ruling also includes a 5 million CFA franc fine and a 3-year ban from residing in Côte d'Ivoire. Gassama's conviction stems from a 2024 video in which he questioned President Alassane Ouattara's nationality and labeled him a destabilizing force. His defense team has denounced the verdict as excessive and extremely harsh. And Oxford English Dictionary recently announced a new update, adding more West African words and expressions to its global lexicon. The update includes entries from across the region. Notably, Nigeria, Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, where English continued, according to the BBC, to play official role. Among the new additions are Palago, an energetic that emerged from, the BBC said, urban youth in Ghana. Liberia, the word Domboy, made from boiled cassava and usually eaten from spicy pepper soup, and Bigo, an Igbo expression from Nigeria, meaning please, also used to convey surprise, disbelief, or exasperation. BBC Focus on Africa and KG Ongbona spoke to Dr. Kingsley Oguwenye, consultant to Oxford English Dictionary and a key contributor to the dictionary. He was asked whether the recognition of these African words and their inclusion in Oxford Dictionary benefit the cultures.
Yes, it does, because if you look at all the words added, you see there's a lot about the music, about food in particular, a lot about means of transportation. You can think about poda, for example, which is very common in Sierra Leone, which is a means of transportation, right? Okada was added some years ago. You see that these things define culture, and by defining culture, they also promote, because it is such a global dictionary, so used across the world. So what it means is that someone somewhere in Malaysia, someone somewhere in and think of any country in the world can open this one and read what they mean. Follow the link, follow the reference to where these words have been used and find the text and know what they mean and what they mean to the people that use them.
Dr. Ogwani, just walk us through the process for getting words officially recognized and being added to the dictionary. I've always wondered how that works.
What they do is that they have this internal mechanism that shows words that are not already in the dictionary. Then they begin to look at these words and begin to compile the definition. But then also they have a system where readers of the dictionary can also suggest. So at the end of the day, the OED will make a list of these words, and then they come to consultants like us. Like I consult for Nigerian English. So they'll send me the list of the words and say, okay, are these meanings appropriate? Do you think that if this word is defined in this way or the other way, might it cause trouble culturally, or does it represent how it is perceived within the context? And just to give you a quick example, when we were defining the word, that's many years ago, it's among the first batch we worked on, we were working on this word, egusi soup. In the first definition that was sent to me, the definition was that egusi is a kind of stew made with melon seed. I said, no, this is not stew. It can't be stew, right? And then, but I know where this is coming from. When the British person tells you soup, the soup is usually watery. And so it was difficult for a typical British editor to see egusi as soup. We went back and forth, I think, to the point that one of the editors had to go and order egusi soup from an African restaurant to see how it looks like and to ask questions around. And it took us a lot of back and forth to decide that, yes, the people say this as a soup, not as stew. So if the meaning came out as that egusi is a kind of stew, people say, what does this mean, right? When we are on the same page across all this words, then it goes into a series of verification before the word is now finalized and published.
Right. But I have to ask you this. Are these words now becoming generally accepted, given they've been added to the dictionary?
I have to sound a note of caution here, right? Acceptance is not something that is general. There's the issue of, I accept this, the other person accepts. But when it comes to like overall acceptance, which is something that is usually initiated or guided by policy. But as it stands now, when it comes to acceptance, I wouldn't say there is now general acceptance. There is not. I don't think there is.
Right.
But that is actually the very nature of language. Can I shock you by telling you that today, not everybody still accepts American English as a legitimate variety of English. Because some people still say, no, American English is bad English. These are just people's opinion because people are not ready to accept change.
Exactly,
right?
which brings me to my next point.
If they hear something different from what they are used to, they begin to complain.
Exactly, which brings me to my next point, that we're seeing the addition of all these words in recent years. Critics may argue that it waters down the originality of the English language.
Well, there's no language that is, when you say original English, is a very controversial term in language. What's original? Even English itself is not original, if I understand what you mean by that. Because English was a West Germanic language, all right? It was the language of the Anglo-Saxons who invaded the British Isles several centuries ago and forced them to pick their language. All right. So, and since then, English has been borrowing from all the languages of the world. So why is it different? So if English can borrow from Japanese and borrow from Korean and borrow from Chinese and German and French and all, so why can't it borrow from Pidgin?
Okenji Ogbonam, speaking with Dr. Kingsley Oguwanyan, consultant to Oxford English Dictionary, on the update or inclusion of the following words from Nigeria, Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. Palogo, Bigo, Domboy. So Liberia's language, Domboy, has been added to Oxford Dictionary. I don't know whether if you look up the word dumb boy in the dictionary, you will find it, but that's what came out. You heard Dr. Kingsley explaining how those words are entered in Oxford Dictionary. But it's good. It's good, at least. Our country is noted for speaking good English, doesn't it? Our president won the world's accolade for speaking good English. So it's not a surprise that Liberia, the word dumb boy from Liberia or a Liberian word is placed in Oxford Dictionary. Great. Welcome, Agnes Sai. So let's turn to some of the developments unfolding in Liberia. Let's start with MCC February 1 street clearing of sidewalk sellers. The move is not entirely bad. The move is not entirely bad. I can understand that people will put sentiment into it. I don't want to say political sentiment, but they put sentiment into it. It's not entirely bad. It benefits both parties. It benefits the government. It benefits the seller. It benefits the sellers from the point of security, safety, because they had encroached on the road. They had encroached on the road. They closed or partly or almost closed the road that cars will hardly pass, even though we have a malfunctional layout of our roads interconnectively. So it saves them. They weren't concerned about their security, and I don't think the Monrovia City Corporation took that decision on security grounds. I am convinced they took the decision on just the government must give the city its facelift. That's all. Not even on conjecture ground. It benefits the two parties. But here is it. The decision taken by MCC to clear the sellers from the streets, they can sustain it. They cannot sustain it. Given the complex nature of our setup, they cannot sustain it. It is one thing to announce removal. It's good to sound authoritative. It's good to put out the political power you have. But how empty is that when you can sustain it with alternatives? The first thing is having alternatives before you can take a decision. It is the alternative that solves the problem. So they cannot sustain it. They do not have all that it takes. I do not know their strength, my manpower, but what I do know, they will get tired moving around, standing up, and probably it might just resort to harassment. Some of the MCC officers might see it as opportunity to extort money from people, to forcibly take the goods, as they have always done. They have come to be known for that. So they can sustain it. In the next few days, they will leave. This is not the first time. They did it before. The people came back because they don't have what it takes to sustain it. The move has not solved the problem in this country wholly. What Unity Party government is doing is nothing new. It is nothing unprecedented. Previous governments thought the same way, even thought more wisely than this government. But they had to resign to the fact that there wasn't alternative in place. they took into consideration, which Unity Party people have not taken into consideration, the swelling of the population. This country cannot tell me that they have done they've done a survey. I do not know how they call that, but it's within that area. Between a year and 2 or 2, 3, you will have known that government, the agency responsible will have known how much or what's the ratio growth of the population. This country, this government don't know. You can use your raw observation to reach that conclusion that the population is swelling by the day. No institutions, no structure whatsoever. The ones that are existing, the little ones that are existing, they are not capacitated, meaning they're not spacious enough to take everybody because they are small. They were built for just 100 persons, 75 persons. Look at Waterside Market. How many? Look at Raleigh Town Market. How many it can take? Look at the other areas. President, we are trying to put, he put that Douala Market there with the understanding that another one. Do you know that Douala bill was already said to have about 3 to 4 markets given the population? You don't know that? Oh, okay. So stick that in your head. That was the first of 4. Because they took into consideration the population, how congested the place was, and the population was rising. That's how government come out with structures. They call the people who are responsible to do a comprehensive understanding and brief them. So they will look at and say, Mr. President, the population in Douala is this and that. Between 2023 and 2025, the population will have grown to this. And then what happened? We will need structures. You might have people wanting to do this, the other activity. They will project all of those things. That's how you see in Europe and other countries, the people build these large structures just there. As the population grows, they have alternative to cope with the swelling population. Alternatively, yeah, no. Look at Waterside. Waterside is already densely populated. Look at all of the markets everywhere. All of those structures are overfilled. So the people are constrained to come outside. Now they are outside. The number has increased by 5. Nowhere. So everybody just squatting. Everybody's just gallivanting, meaning they move on the other street, they get on the other side because they're hustling for customers to get the goods going. They can. They have not solved the problem. They only put up a political showmanship so the people will say, and that's why the people have started saying, oh yeah, the president cleaning the place, the street is clear, moreover is clear. Moreover, it's not clear. The people are off the streets, but they are on the streets. The people are off the streets, but they are on the streets. Yeah, what I mean? They're off the streets with the goods. They're not on the road with the wheelbarrow, with all that they were using to get the market traded or the goods traded. They're off. But they have come outside with 1 item in hands, 2 items in hand, all of them, they're on the streets again. The traffic congestion that the government was concerned about, the traffic congestion still exists because cars are not moving freely. They, human beings, are on the street. Everybody showing you up the goods. They had to come outside to show, so when buyers are passing, is it? So it hasn't solved the problem wholly, and they cannot sustain it. No, they are standing on all of the streets with their goods. Already, we have a disjointed interconnection with our roads. Cars are not flowing. I guess this is one of the reasons they called for this, February 1. But the cars, there's still traffic congestion everywhere. The people are off. But there's still traffic congestion because the goods are not on the street, but the human beings are on the street. And then, here's another thing. Then we'll go to the contradiction. Here's another thing. No sidewalk. No sidewalk. No sidewalk. Some of you have experienced it. I took my time to walk from street to street, everywhere, everywhere. They say move. So the sidewalk for human being to pass on, to flow, because the road is for the car. The sidewalk is for human being. Unity Party say you leave the road, which is not bad. So the people took all the goods, everything, they put it on the sidewalk. Now, there is no sidewalk again. Have you solved the problem? You have not solved the problem. There is no sidewalk completed, no sidewalk again. No sidewalk. Because they're using all of those places now as their security. To get the business, they have the few that they are secure over there on the sidewalk, since the government say they are encroaching or enclosing the road. How can you have a city, no sidewalk? So, in my opinion, the government has complicated than they think they have solved the problem. They issue a statement. Yes, a contradiction. I do not know what is happening. One group is saying another. Last week, the Monrovia City Corporation said, effective February 1, no selling in the streets. They came out, the people say, yeah, Bwaka is showing leadership, the paper ready, the city clear. Something that the past president did not do, they are doing it. They came out with a statement. They said, streets and corridors where selling is prohibited. Streets and corridors where selling is prohibited. Tottenham Boulevard, Junction through Cinco, Bypass, Broad Street. But I think I should go to the statement from last week, because this is this week. There is a contradiction. Let's go to the statement from last week. There is a contradiction. They issued a statement last week saying, no, the place will be clear. Nobody will sell effective February 1, which was Sunday. That was Sunday. So it took effect on today. On today, it took effect. Then they came out and said, no, that information that went out, we don't know who put that information out. After they said, effective February 1, no street selling, they come back and said, we did not say no street selling. That's what they said. They said, we did not say no street selling. You had a statement, Monrovia City Corporation, MCC, effective February 1, and in accordance with a mandate from the Monrovia City Corporation, MCC, all street sellers operating on prohibited streets are hereby instructed to relocate to designated markets and approved street selling areas. The street selling is strictly prohibited on sidewalks, and roadways within the following no-go zone streets: Broad Street to Mecklin Street, Mecklin Street to Front Street, Benson Street to Randall Street, Randa Street to Ashmore Street. Any individual found selling, any individual, meaning anyone, any individual found selling on sidewalks or roadways within these prohibited areas or on after February 1 will be in violation of city regulations and subject to enforcement actions. This notice is issued by the city government of Liberia through the Monrovia City Corporation. Then they came out to release another one. Same. This is February 1. The Monrovia City Corporation informs the public, business operators, street vendors, and market associations and all residents of Monrovia that it has taken note of a recent public service announcement. It has taken note of a recent public service announcement claiming that MCC will remove vendors from all streets effective February 1. However, MCC clearly states that it did not issue, authorize, or endorse any such blanket announcement, and any information suggesting a statewide and indiscriminate removal of vendors from all streets on that date is false and misleading. The public, including street vendors, their unions, and informal workers associations, is hereby strongly advised to disregard unofficial notices. Okay, we'll stop there because they're saying the same thing over and over. So this is a complete contradiction. They know the statement was issued last week, 1 week to this week. If that statement came up, what is the duty of? It was signed by the Public Affairs Department, Monrovia City Corporation. Are they telling us that there are people who are writing on behalf of the information section of the Monrovia City Corporation? Since that information came out 1 week, they never came out to say that is wrong. I want to believe that somebody must have raised a concern or the pressure that have been on. So instead of saying, no, you're sorry, you'll go back, which will be, they will look like stupid people in the eyes of the public. So they say they're not aware. They did not issue such a statement. So let me tell you now, since the MCC people say they issue such statement, they're telling you to go back to your normal businesses, your normal places. That's what they're simply saying. So you go back. Because what they're saying, how can you issue a statement? All the media institutions carry it. You've been hearing it over and over. You read it in the newspapers. You heard it on the radio station. You never came out to say that information is not true. We did not issue. You left it. On February 2nd, you went into full effect. Because the public pressure became so high, you issue a statement and say, you are not aware of such statement. Oh, come on, man. What kind of responsible government institution does that? What kind of responsible government institution will stoop so low? You said February 1. February 1 fell on Sunday. Today is the 2nd. Your guys came. You deploy your men everywhere. You issue a statement. You say streets and corridors where selling is strictly prohibited. Tottenham Boulevard, Broad Street, United Nations Drive, Front Street, Ashmore Street, Benson Street, McLean Street, McLean and Carey, Randa and Carey, McLean, Carey, Ashmore, Randa, Carey, Ashmore, Gaelic, Carey, Ashmore, Center Kerry Ashmont, Buchanan Kerry Ashmont, Lynch Kerry Ashmont, Johnson Kerry Water, all ramps, Payne Avenue, Wano Avenue, Russell Avenue, Chismore Avenue, Coleman Avenue, Barclay Avenue, 9th Street, 20th Street, Wano, Russell Avenue, every short course, Spring P, and that entire city there and other parts. So what difference your statement have said, the recent statement from the one you issue first? They're not saying anything different. They're the same thing. You only confirming, but you're pretending like you did not know about the first one. So you go by MCC confusing themselves. All the places you name, that the entire country here, the entire city. Oh, Ashmont Street, Broad Street, Mecklin, Randall, Kerry, Center, Buchanan, Lynch, Johnson, all these places. They're the same thing. You organize yourselves better at that MCC, man. You organize yourselves. Yesterday, you people were very critical. That was suffering you today. People will always make reference to the past because you people were in opposition yesterday. You people were very critical, speaking to all of these things. That will take us to what I consider a joke atmosphere. I can understand the position of Senator Edwin Snow. If I were Senator Snow, wouldn't bother. Like I told you people, confirmation hearing is a critical examination. Confirmation hearing is a critical examination. Confirmation hearing is not a joke thing. It's not a fun fair. It is a serious situation because anything short of being serious, anything short of being perfect with the confirmation hearing, you damage that sector of government. That's why the Senate is very vital for confirmation hearing. It is only in Liberia, as far as my research is concerned, that the confirmation hearing is a fun fair, it's a joke, a playground. You have seen confirmation hearing in other countries. You have seen, even if the chairman of that committee knows that person, he presents himself like he doesn't know. He goes for the country instead of his friendship or knowing the person for years. He does not brag on knowing the person, they went to the same school and all of that. You only see that childish and irresponsible things in Liberia legislature. That is why nominees are not really, they don't take serious the legislature or confirmation hearing. In a country, serious-minded country, when a person is announced, that nominee is getting ready for a serious business because the nominee knows that the senators are serious-minded people. Everything that ministry or agency they're going to, if it will be better or not depends on the senators. That is why they don't take confirmation hearing for joke. They nominate people, they go there with large crowd. And let me say this. Yesterday, the guy said, and they still hold that today. They say CDC, the muya, every little thing they carry people. So they said, Bouaka went to deliver his State of the Nation address. It was quiet too, not the usual noise that they saw 6 years. 1, 2. The police director, Gregory Coleman, refused Liberians led by several civil society organizations under the banner Solidarity for a New Day, Solidarity and Trust for a New Day. What reason did the police director give? He said that place is the Holy of Holies. If protesters going there, they will desecrate the grounds of the Capitol building. Fast forward, Unity Party nominee goes there with large crowd, beating drums, chanting, saying the same muya muya, all of the battle cries and every other thing, which was a desecration. The police director there raised within himself the intent to carry water, tank, and men. For them, the Unity Party person, but she desecrated the place. The place that Gregory Common say only holy people can go there. The place, the state house, all kind of way they call it, they went there. They never stopped there. They proved to them. They say, Gregory Common, since you say the place here, that holy ground is holy for the opposition, but for us, in our holy, we can come and do anything we want to do. One of the most reckless behavior demonstrated last week that led the senators to call off the confirmation hearing of nominee Cornelia Crowd that was scheduled for 2 o'clock, even though they tried to polish it, coming up with a statement saying it's not because of that. And they could not say why it was postponed. If you say it was not because of the crowd desecrating the grounds, disrespecting the senators by carrying noise there, evading their work, causing uneasiness, creating psychological or emotional stress. What reason you did not say, but only to say that's not because of that? That place, what the senators need to do now, let it not be, because this is where Unity Party is getting it wrong. They're messing themselves, they're making themselves shame every day, and everybody now know that this thing is Unity Party state. Once it favors Unity Party or it involves a Unity Party person, there's no problem. Once it is not in Unity Party's interest, it is not Unity Party person, but an opposition person, the police rally to muscle any to thwart it. So it is the Machiavellian theory in Liberia. Might makes right. They have the might, they have the gun, they have the authority, they have everything. They determine the pace of how the country runs. And that is purely Nebuchadnezzaric. Simply put, Unity Party is saying everybody must worship them. For them, they can break the law at all time, anytime. But anybody who does it, you are penalized. That's the Machiavellian theory right there. And it is undemocratic. Any culture, any government with such an atmosphere, you are not democratic, you are despotic, you are dictatorial, you are tyrannical. When the law protects your interest and is against non-interest, you'll be saying within yourself as democratic, but you're not democratic because you're suppressing dissent. When you suppress dissent, you are not democratic. So here is it. If the guys over there serious, just as they legislate, they can do a legislation banning people from going at the Capitol building with crowd. They can issue a decree. Henceforth, no nominee comes here with a crowd. It's as simple. That one just made an announcement. You don't need any legislation for that. You people have the power. And why would a nominee going for confirmation hearing carry people behind? Not the people that determine. You can carry a large crowd and you are rejected. But you see, they can do that so the people will get afraid. and say, oh, the person is popular, the person get the masses. If we reject this person, the people will come against us. We have heard lawmakers say that. That's the reason these people, they can carry large crowd behind them. If you are going for confirmation hearing, it does not require, it's just like going to another meeting, a serious-minded meeting. You don't need large crowd to go to that meeting. You go in with your expertise. You already qualified. That's the reason they nominated you to the position. So why you care crowd behind you? You just go and sit. And when you pass the confirmation hearing, the announcement is out. That's when you can come out. And then how people will stoop so low. Say, Cornelius Crowd, listen. All factors work in favor of Cornelius Crowd. Again, know it. Confirmation hearing is a serious thing. Equally, it's not intended to deny a given nominee. It is only when the nominee cannot convince the legislators or the senators of that area he or she is nominated to. Delivery, meaning presentation of plan and answering questions. That's when the legislators now or the lawmakers can start having a couple of reservations. But it's not intended to deny. That means they don't sit down and fix it within their hearts that Joe Public is coming and we will deny Joe Public. No. The senators, no senator is against any nominee. No senator will just attempt to deny. It is only when you cannot prove, even though they have their individual interest. Understand it that way. All factors work for Cornelia. She can be denied. No, she can be denied. That is not really a place of anything critical. Yeah, that joke area there, that fun fair, that playground there, that play called Senate. I'm saying it this way because we've seen it over the years, government after government. Not only this government, but government after government. The legislators themselves. How can a person go for confirmation hearing before or when the confirmation starts? Then you hear this person, when the chairman referred to John Josiah for his question, here John Josiah say, I don't have question for the nominee. The nominee and I are friends. We've been friends for 25 years. We went to school together. In fact, we are related. Where in the world you hear senator confirmation hearing saying that? Where in the world? Liberia is the only country with that playground. Where have you seen travel around the world? Watch senators crisscrossing the nominees or cross-examining the nominees. See it. It is only in this country, Liberia, you will hear the chairman of the committee. This man is the nominee, is a friend of mine. We've been good friends for years. In fact, I go to his house, we eat, he comes to my house, we share things in common. Truly, I'm telling you, we've been around. We witnessed plenty confirmation hearing to say the Liberian were plenty. When you sit down in a place, you get vexed with these men. You don't see them, you just see them as baby men. Yeah? But you get to realize that they are small mentally. And they were just opportune to get in a position. The man is my friend, and we share things in common. Just last week, he was at my house. So you want that man now, you think he ready to ask that nominee any question? He will not. He will just be there. That's why these nominees, they don't really respect the Senate. So everything works in her favor. She will not be denied. And then they try to put it on this thing called youth generation shift. Meaning Cornelius, look at me using the men. Cornelia Kra is below 40. I think she's 35 years old. They arguing here and there. The other person say he was 26 when he became this, when he was appointed. This other person say he was 33 and all the kind of stuff. Too childish, too petty. It's not the issue. As a matter of fact, Josiah was 8 years old when Josiah ascended the hymn. Josiah performed well than his father. Josiah was 8 years old, but God was not concerned about the age. He was concerned about the performance. You see how we stoop so low in our country. It's not the issue whether the leader is 35. This person was 26 when he was appointed 10 years ago, 15 years ago. The other person was 29. No, it is the performance. I would prefer when Cornelia Kra passes the confirmation hearing, then we look at her performance, which is the most important thing. She was not appointed on age. She was not nominated, rather, on age by the president. She was nominated based on the president's conviction of her performance. That she can go to the Ministry of Youth and Sports and make a difference. There where logical reasoning come on. The argument should not be on her age. The argument should be on what difference is she going to make over there. Simple. Josiah was 8 years old when he ascended, and he did far more better than his father. Far more. He was 8 years old. It is not the age. It is the substance. It is the difference that you can bring. It is how you change that area. Moreover, anyway, that's it. That's it. So we thank Philbert Brown. Just so you know, Philbert Brown had been realistically critical of the regime of George Weah, even though he benefited from that regime. It doesn't move George Weah, who benefited from him, and criticize him. As far as the former president concerned, everybody is entitled to his or her opinion. It is democracy. And he does not expect everybody to praise him. No, those who think that he did extremely well, he impacted the life, or he made a difference nationally, he appreciated. Those who think that they should criticize him because he did not do well or whatever, he also appreciates everybody's opinion. And that's what every human being ought to be. But I can only say we thank Philbert Brown for doing his own due diligence on the situation with Clare Marie Foundation or City of Hope. The hearing to quash Arab subpoena is set for next week, Tuesday. Next week, Tuesday will be the 10th. Philbert Brown, he came out with a second position. He came out with a second position. Last week, he came out with the first one, which we share with you. This week, he's out with another one. Hear what he said. All men are innocent until proven guilty. No man is bound to accuse himself. In Western jurisprudence that Liberia subscribes to, a fundamental principle stands tall. All men are innocent until proven guilty. No one should be forced to produce evidence against oneself, a doctrine rooted in history, dating back to 13th century England. The maxim, nemo tenitur septium, no man is bound to accuse himself, was crafted to shield individuals from governmental coercion and protect against forced confessions. This right was enshrined in the United States Constitution in 1791 and Liberia's Constitution in 1847. The recent subpoena ducis tecum issued to Clara Weah Foundation demanding they produce their donor list raises eyebrows and questions about the judiciary impartiality. Many legal scholars and practitioners are perplexed, that may confused, by this move, citing the well-established principle against self-incrimination. Historically, this right was designed to prevent the government from twisting arms and extracting confessions. By compelling the foundation to produce its donor list without charges being filed, the government appears to be seeking evidence without a legitimate case. In Liberia, a subpoena typically follows an indictment or charge, not the other way around. The government's action has sparked concerns about the weaponization of the judiciary. If the courts continue down this path, they risk eroding the little faith remaining in the system. Liberians are watching closely, and the Supreme Court and subordinate courts must tread carefully to maintain the integrity of the justice system. A month ago, the high-profile capital arson case was disbanded after jurors questioned the prosecution evidence. Exactly what jurors are supposed to do. This incident, coupled with the president's recent comments on a pending case, raises troubling questions about influence and impartiality. The judiciary role is to uphold the law, not to aid in the persecution of individuals or organizations. Forcing the Clara Foundation to produce evidence against itself sets a dangerous precedent, undermining the principles of justice and fairness. Liberians deserve a fair and impartial judiciary, free from political pressure and manipulation. The courts must ensure that no one is coerced into producing evidence against themselves, upholding the Constitution and protecting individual rights. In these uncertain times, it's crucial that the judiciary remains a beacon of hope and fairness. The stakes are high, and Liberians are watching. The world is watching. The courts must act with integrity, upholding the principles of justice and ensuring that no one is above the law, nor is anyone unfairly targeted. Another concern from Philbert Brown with this caption from where I sit. Yeah, the Capitol building case, it hangs in the balance. It gone into oblivion. The government does not know what to do again. No evidence after bragging from the onset by the Solicitor General, Augustine Fayard, the police director, that they had overwhelming evidence to prosecute those who burned the Capitol building. They cannot. They disbanded or dismissed the jurors. The case is left to the wing. Wherever it blows it, there where it falls and it dies. President Bouaka tried to reignite, but he placed his guys in a terrible position. When he delivered the State of the Nation address, it was the first thing he said. Forcing these guys to come up with something to send people to jail. And the guys cannot, because it is not purely political, it is legal. If it was political, you could grab people and put them in jail. But it is legal. And Unity Party cannot produce evidence. All that they claim as evidence, the court threw them outside. They can prove. And here they are. They left that one. They turn on the other side. They never complete anything. A government that is vindictive, that's what you see. They hang on one, they don't complete it, and then they jump on another. Everything about this government has just been from the onset, from day one, distorted. Thank you for coming on, Lawrence. Winning, Slipway, I appreciate you. Thank you ever so much for everything that you do. Great, Gion brother. Thank you, Lawrence. Winning. Everything is just distorted. No organization. And the reason why Unity Party is not getting what it wants to get, because the heart is dirty. The heart is dirty. When you have that devilish heart, you don't get anything. You have the intention, but it will not work as you want it, and everybody will know that you have a diabolical intent because they will see it. That's what it is with UP. Gotta drop this vindictive nature. You said people burn the Capitol. Now you can prove it. President goes to make public statement the same way he prejudiced the case before it became a case on the grounds of the Capitol. He goes to deliver his State of the Nation address. It is the first line. It tells you of the grudge that the president has. When he himself, the government is desecrating place all over. But they find it necessary to go after people. Go after people. You don't. You use 2 years going after one man. 2 years gone. You get 4 years. The 3rd year going. You have not done anything significant yet. And we're not too sure that you will do anything significant in this 2026. Election year is drawing closer. The opposition is working. If you think the opposition is not working, well, that is a lie. The opposition will not make noise, will not take tire to the streets, will not light fire, will not tell the people you go and block the road. They will not tell the people to do any one of those things. If Unity Party, people hoping on that, so they will give it an interpretation that they ought not to, it will never happen. Bouaka will be here, Bouaka will reign peacefully in a unique atmosphere, except they gave the opposition the reason. But no opposition will go into the streets to burn tire, just as Unity Party put people in the streets to burn tire. They will not, as they told people to lie. They use people, certain people as surrogates to lie on people in government then, so that they will capitalize on it. Nobody will call for sanction against this government. No opposition will do anything. If that what you're hoping on, it will not happen. You will stay here. The game will be competitive. 2029, we will win your free fair. And you will sit down and say, no, we made mistake. We were not to do all of those things we did in opposition to those people. You'll be here and you'll see it. Simple. Your own devilish acts will come up. And you talk Louis Brown, you're carrying and Louis Brown mess you up. We couldn't hear international community, Braga Restore, Labra, image on the international Labra, Braga Restore. And you say, any image damage? Any image damage, your salon here? Forget it. More coming. Nobody will wish for any evil. Nothing against you. Simple, intellectual, democratic politics will get you out. That's all. Let me bring you this. This was written thanks to Gibson Jeru. Gibson Jeru did write a song, I think, and somebody produced it for former President George Weah. A fine song. Fine song. Fine song. Let's have a break with this song. Then we turn to you to have your say. Thanks to Gibson Jeru. He wrote the song for former President George Weah. He solicited help in the production of the song, and somebody from nowhere took advantage of it to do it. Here is it.
We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular with global connections. From the slums to the world stage, shining, legend of our generation. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular on global connections. Bringing pride to the Lone Star, bringing hope to the nation. Started in Claratown with nothing but a dream. Played with rag balls, leading the team. Then Europe saw the talent. Monaco to Paris, Milan. The only African Ballon d'Or, a shining gifted man. AC Milan superstar flying high in the air. But his heart was in Liberia, a love beyond compare. When the country was broken, he stood in the gap, putting Liberia on the world map. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular with global connections. From the slums to the world stage, shining, legend of our generation. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular and global connections. Bringing pride to the Lone Star, bringing hope to the nation. He didn't just play soccer, he played for peace. Giving voice to the voiceless, making violence cease. A UN ambassador with a heart so kind, leaving no one, absolutely no one behind. He met Nelson Mandela, the African pride. For the people of Liberia, always by his side. From the pitch to the Senate, to the high seat of state. He's a man of the people, deciding our fate. Oh, they know his name in London and Rome, but his love is for the children in his homeland home. He connects the world through football and grace, building bridges for a better place. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular with global connections. From the slums to the world stage, shining, legend of our generation. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular and global connections. Bringing pride to the Lone Star, bringing hope to the nation. Yeah, he's the king. Fuck up. Loved by the people. Global connections.
to attend all of it, but I wanted to attend the first one and engage with you. And just commit to you that the Ministry of Youth and Sports will have some of our teams from time to time.
We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular with global connections. From the slums to the world stage, shining, legend of our generation. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular on global connections. Bringing pride to the Lone Star, bringing hope to the nation. Started in Claratown with nothing but a dream. Played with rag balls, leading the team. Then Europe saw the talent. Monaco to Paris, Milan. The only African Ballon d'Or, a shining gifted man. AC Milan superstar flying high in the air. But his heart was in Liberia, a love beyond compare. When the country was broken, he stood in the gap, putting Liberia on the world map. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular with global connections. From the slums to the world stage, shining, legend of our generation. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular and global connections. Bringing pride to the Lone Star, bringing hope to the nation. He didn't just play soccer, he played for peace. Giving voice to the voiceless, making violence cease. Are you an ambassador with a heart so kind? Leaving no one, absolutely no one behind. He met Nelson Mandela, the African pride. The people of Liberia always by his side. From the pitch to the Senate, to the high seat of state. He's a man of the people, deciding our fate. Oh, they know his name in London and Rome, but his love is for the children in his homeland home. He connects the world through football and grace, building bridges for a better place. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular with global connections. From the slums to the world stage, shining, legend of our generation. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular and global connections. Bringing pride to the Lone Star, bringing hope to the nation. Yeah, he's the king. Fuck up. Loved by the people. Global connections. Yeah.
Let's get to you now to have your say. Before then, let's read some of the comments. Perry Slobot said, let Bukhari and his criminal gangsters be warned. Every government property under their control will be seized if CDC comes to power, comes back to state power. Philip Tukwa said, it's true. Confirmation is not a place for denial, but it should be a place that the appointed nominee should take with caution. Sam Weir say the Barker administration needs to open the roads by expanding it and just driving people off the streets, roads. They shouldn't be pocketing the taxpayers' money. If the roads remain the same, there will always be traffic congestion everywhere. Moreover, it's no longer the same as in the 70s, 60s, and 90s. 100% right, Sam Weir. That's true. And they're not thinking in that direction. This country, people just like to show up, just power showmanship. For the past, I would say George Weah is coming back 2029. All right, that's true. Yeah, I'm doing good, Agnes. That's true. Before you do such, you take into consideration all those things. Young Maborod said, They're taking no action to win people over. Every day they call it good for them. That's true. They're making mistakes every day, but it's good that they continue. Let them continue to make these. They are not mistakes. I don't consider them mistakes. They are just ineptitude. They lack the leadership. Let's go to you now. Let's turn to you to have your say. 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97. The women's line 0777 98 0375. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Now.
Yeah, fine. What is your name?
Okay, I was calling for Jacotan Ria.
Let's hear you.
District 2. So I have to thank you so much. Our prayer is not life, and 2029 want to see it. Don't promote anything they put their hand in, it began laugh. Anything they put their hand in, it began to laugh. Now it's time people not to go there for noise. That's why they put a one play the drum, everything, nothing can out of it. So we are praying to long life, then God give us a long life. We and Boaka will go through face-to-face battle, and when we he said that couple you will tell them how to join. We are any.
All right, Sabato. Hello.
Very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Thank you very much for your 4 pointers. For my attention, I've been drawn to the one that have to do with the city corporation and that of Philip Brand. Firstly, I want to appeal to you, Mr. Andrews, so that you can add this jingle about more value, job creation, about sending people in the market to local and to do social board. I want you people to add it to your jingle so that Liberians can know the number of jobs that Joe Baka has created. Please, that's my honest appeal to you. Please.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. All right. Then the next issue has to do with state corporation. Mr. Andrews, today, to see Unity Party people flip-flopping about public statement on taking marketeers from the street, it baffles me. I can remember yesterday when Jefferson Tamakoji decided to build a table market in Duat Army or in Waterstar to ably position our marketeers. Those marketeers were incited by Unity partisans to protest under the campaign of people did not get jobs. That's why they were standing in the street. If President Weah create jobs, people would leave the street. Today, they're taking the people. I want to ask them, have they created a job for the people for which they are taking the people from the streets? Mr. Andrew, please let them answer this question. Thank you very much for always giving us the opportunity to make our voice on national issue. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. You are on, Chief. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you. My name is Aliyu Fatikuna, Mepikin, Baka somewhere, point one issue. No, let me commend you for the conversation. You know, Mr. Andrew, I want your man to be honest with you. I just said the thing. I'm not believing in Mr. Andrew, to be honest.
You want to speak louder? Speak louder.
Yeah, like I was saying to you, Mr. Andrew, you know, I 100% support the government, but I'm saying to you, I want your man, I just said it, I'm not believing in Mr. Andrew, to be honest. Whether for the government, the past government, I don't believe in somebody going for a job interview. Because me, I call that confirmation a job interview. Now, it's the people going for job interview in the private sector, why they can't tell people behind it? To go and get Katoka, Mr. Andrew. That thing up to now, again, we get away. But you know, all the things Jordan told Mr. Andrew, I always said they encourage my government. All the things bad down to no job in our country. I want to sit down. I say like, bro, you honestly, but no government, they up to now.
You say no job. You say no job in the country.
I say from President, we are there to President Baga, there for President Eli, all of them. Like, bro, honestly, what time?
No, but we're talking about now. Early in history, Joe, we had a history. We're talking about now. Your government, yeah, your government say, wait now. Your government, yeah, wait now, my man. Wait. Wait, you say no job. That the reason why the people can carry people to capital, so continue carry people that ain't get job. But your government say 70,000 now.
Nothing. I mean, I seen it. You, I'm not today. I seen it all already. This morning, I say.
So the bad thing your government officials doing to carry people with them.
It's good. Even people today, when government decide to call people that work in the past, government say, oh, you can't get account of your stewardship. The past says here, you are appointed in the particular ministry agency. Can't tell all what you do. You see, no people who got the father the other person, they really apply like that.
So what happened with the 70,000 jobs now? But ain't some of the people there who get a job that went with Cornelius Crab?
Mr. Andrew, you see for me, sometimes
all right, later, my man.
When time read for politics, I would discuss politics to be honest.
Oh, so they were now politics.
Baga giving people 70,000 short and middle and short and long, short and middle term. It not tell you, say.
Okay, G. All right, G. Thank you. Hello. Yeah. Let's hear you. Then we'll go to the women's line. Yeah. I'm listening, Peter.
I don't care why it is. So I want another year is there. Then you are telling you, nah. The year is taking the entire thing. But I will not move me. I'm with 1 man. Yes, now we are with 1 man. I'm saying after them to go back for a second time. I don't care whatsoever. You don't let it important that you are there to take a long life, yeah? You take a long life. That's their patient for the year you come back. Things are too much.
All right. Let's go to the women's line. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sanju.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm now.
Fine.
Thank you for prayer. You're the only person we are doing. Because you're the senior for person we are going to the phone line to tell the information. So you're prayer. Thank you very much, my brother. I want to ask the new Palestinians. They said they were breaking investor NGO were coming because the people were standing on the street. The person we are paying or Minga Benny. Market say let people go there. Say what the people go there for? They play far. The people not get job, their men not working, and they will leave the street. So I want to ask the Palestinians, what the NGO and they said they were breaking, the 400 days where you first come and set a rule, that thing will be better. When the NGO they are breaking the thing, they're taking the people from the street, they are breaking people down, they are going to operate too. What the people they say, hey, elected for, that you will sit there and the women and they truly are jobless and homeless, they are crying on the Facebook, saying, yes, where you are. So the people voted you for the government to push on out there and break their houses down, they will be jobless. But let me tell you, the people, the mistake that they say, hey, because I said this, I said they say, hey, the mistake that they say, hey, they will not make it again. That mistake, they will not make it again. Come to the now, the government will be pushed out, that will be responsible government, men are lost in nation, men are scared fear for the people. He will come and take over the nation to bring it back and the will have confidence. Thank you very much.
Boaga say the thing Joey Apple over there, he say in a correct by standard in a correct. He breaking it down, the Omega market, he say he breaking it down to change it to a modern son. He say that substandard thing Joey Apple there also he breaking it down.
You're not putting nothing there when the people of Omega agree with it. They say more point they will tell it. They say market penny, you bring market penny when they agree that they wouldn't work for according to Omega market people. They market on the offer. They play B. What I get B land there. You have to break it down. Why you play market you down? We told everyone they said that mayor. He can't wait. You need to go to break to destroy the country. He can't build the country. But therefore, like we are seeing it. Hey, Gary, thank you very much.
Hello. Hello?
Yes,
yeah.
I'm not going for the town show West Point.
We will break Omega. They know that we are pulling him out the mansion, that we are filling the mansion. Let's go break the mansion, and I will know him. Let's go break the mansion, and then we pay. When we break Omega, you will not do nothing to him. You will not spoil the mansion. I actually not him. Let's go break it down.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You stop being too emotional. You don't use that expression. You don't put vexation in intellectualism. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Sam Andrews.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, Sam, for me, I have a different anchor. My name is Amos K. Davia, political writer. For me, I'm looking at the nomination of Cornelia Cooper Craft from different dimensions. You know, her nomination is similar to that of Dr. Al-Hassan Conte, who was nominated, appointed the University of Liberia, given $33 million, you know, to renovate and never did it, but yet was promoted to go to Liberia embassy to serve as ambassador. Similar to that is that of Cornelia Craft. Cornelia Craft dismissed that of Liberians, take food on their table, took food from the Liberian table at the executive mansion. Right now, created hardship for Liberian people. Now she has been rewarded to go to be a kitchen cabinet. So Joseph Walker want to tell that they want to have father and daughter sitting as a kitchen cabinet for him. Then the lawmakers will allow that to happen. I'm calling on the lawmakers to reject the woman. You know, he read the checkpoint for her. We can't have Cooper Craft and her daughter, and his daughter rather, sitting on the same kitchen cabinet of JMB. Never. So I call on the lawmakers, let them see reason to make sure that at least if Cooper Craft will be there, it can be Cornelia Craft, who took breath from out of the mouth of people to be promoted. Thank you very much. I rest my case. You
don't think it is one of the reasons why they put off her confirmation hearing last week from 2 o'clock?
Yeah, but the first thing said it was wrong. How you kidnap children that have gone to school? That was in school.
No, I'm not talking about the children. I'm not talking about the children. I said
sharing squad.
Okay, thank you, sir. Let's go on the other side. Hello. Yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Esmoka, and I'm the fifth that I'm pushing for the re-election for the regional president we have to present. You know,
that is, you know, like I was following one of their supporters when they were discussing Cornelia Craft, you know. Cornelia Craft and her father, they are giving, somebody is saying, oh no, the man there, his daughter there, and all that kind of stuff. They are sitting there, the father was sitting, and they are sitting there and looking at it. But we're not trying, not going to make any difference at the Ministry of Youth and Sport, because we have been following on secretary at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. When she took on what she did, that was approved by Joseph Nyema Boakai. She didn't take that decision on her own. So and that was Boakai won. So they felt that all the people that were working at the Ministry of State on the payroll, they were all seditious. They supported it. But we look at whether she would be able to really represent the government and deliver for the government at that institution. Where she was just Deputy Director of Administration. But where she going now, she will oversee particular institutions. She will control budget. She will control the youth. She will have all of international funding or all the kind of things to manage it. Whether she has the ability to do so, for me, I'm not too sure that she can do it. One of the things that she has is she wants to control. Okay? She wants to control. She wants to sway people's decisions. She wants to be on top of things. Nobody's decision is not accepted. Only her and all the kind of stuff. So by her sending her there, she's going to have a serious problem in controlling her ministry. As for her confirmation, yes, she'll be confirmed. Okay? If you have a little going to the Senate, and then say she was able to define government to flip-floppy a year, she was confirmed by the one brother who is educated and has a law degree. She's going to be confirmed by her importing students. If the school feel that they were not in the know, I mean the Minister of Education at that, and are saying this morning, they sort of sustain those stuff, but they approve it. Because you can have your students, because they were all government institutions where the student came from.
So if you feel that the government was not part of that thing, they sort of sustain the principle that allowed the student to go up. But today we are not hearing any information. That means it was sanctioned by the government probably to induce the senator, so that they can be able to confirm all faster. That what happened. After the street selling, the guys, they do. This is a firm fair government that you are always there. This is a firm fair government. At the point of release, and then after 1 week or 2, the enforcement is not going on. Then you come to distance yourself from it. Then we release that statement. We release it. You didn't say anything until you started implementing. Then you come out to say, oh, X1. So if the marketeers are already following events, they should start returning. Because they are saying they were not the one that essentially told us, so they should start returning to their zero selling play and begin selling. Thank you.
Yeah, but they can return, but I don't think it would be good to stay on the road because they practically closed the road. Yeah, Mr. Carr.
Yeah, of course. When they are returning, they can give. Anyone we told them to place your rope there so that the marketing will fall behind the rope and give pedestrian and move vehicle the right away. They should not take the street. But when you be the chasing, they are all called just because you want to take the market and carry and use it for your own personal use. That's why we will find out. When they should be respected.
Mr. Carr, you don't think it is because what do you talk about, conflict of interest, that the senators, if not all, most of them, thought and decided to waive or not to have the hearing on last week Tuesday at 2 p.m.
It could be, but the guys, it is very difficult to predict the guys, because some of them will want to come clear, but some will be howling beyond, and they know that is the real thing that is happening over there. You have the late father who is minister proper, occupying a particular place that control the job market of this country. Then you're taking the dollar again and send it to quote unquote a useful institution that is supposed to create the means for people to get job, to attract investors in the useful area, to be able to do other stuff that the past government was doing. Then you're sending her there. That's a serious issue, and maybe on the basis of that, they will go for nomination. But for what I'm looking at, I'm not too sure, because the first thing before you go for that confirmation hearing, the ground is softening. That's what happened. We saw it happening. We had some friends, very close one, and we know we are folding in and know the knowing the 10 year around, they can stay around to show that sense something here and there before they can be able to go. So all of those things are just over. You will see them say, oh, they'll send in the community room. From the community room, boom, corner cry is confirmed. But that would be a bad thing to happen if that happens. She just need to go back or find somewhere to place her, or find a minister proper. It's a issue. Where are the other party people? They are all whatever they are here. But you can't continue to use one group of people and marginalizing the other. But you have to then speak up, or they decide to remain quiet that business. Thank you.
Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf paid a visit at Clark Hope Foundation, spoke with the authorities there, former First Lady Claire Mary Weir, while others, Unity Party, striving to shut down the place. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf moved in to get a real view, a first-hand understanding, and she was more than impressed by what she saw from the former First Lady creativity and innovation. Hello.
Hello, Andrew.
Yep.
This is Andrew.
Yep.
Andrew, that girl and her father controlling this country.
No, they're not controlling the country.
I see something. That girl, when they won, people went to where the next day they came. She liked it too. Nobody should enter. The father is here. Everybody suffering under him. Like
they in government now. By the area, from the area, they controlling things, but they're not running the government.
Okay, okay, Papa. But what we're trying to say now, yeah. So this comment here, let them run in. They will stay there for lifetime. They will never move. Oh, cry family never die. They will live there for lifetime. But all I know after the rain.
Sing that song. Sing it. Let hear that militant song.
Oh, cry family never. Never. I say, oh, ugly family never die. Ugly family will never die. We sing. At least you have to have for your friends. Support that people going through, they even get time. They do what they're supposed to do. But they know that God is above.
Yeah.
That lady that was insulting, they break her husband. She had won a group.
Who lady?
Mary. She the one was insulting.
Yeah, but she was wrong to have done that. It was not right.
Yeah, okay, sorry about for frustration. It could happen to any other person.
No, but you can bring frustration on the air and you insult on the air.
Yeah, look at it. So we pray to God to guide our country, yeah. I thank God for my Helen that went on his path. She is of Maradona.
Yeah, she went there. She went to Cloud Hope Foundation.
Yes, she went there. According to you now.
Yeah, so she went there. She went there. Yes. The woman right in front of me are watching everything. Yeah.
Okay.
King's Evans Studio built in a way that we can see things from all around. That's more BBC.
Oh, yeah. Even though the woman is wicked, but she never acted bad at that.
Okay.
Yeah, we got her history, but praise God for her. Thank you, Papa.
All right, Elder Council. You were in a choir?
Hey, they posted a pension me, but I'm creeping there.
You were in a choir? Answer that question.
Yes. And I started thinking, yeah.
Yeah, because you can sing. Yeah. Elder Council. All right.
I do say hello to my family.
Okay, all right. Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello?
You are on the air, Chief.
Okay, Samaju. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, this is Mohammed Joseph Fana Jr. When I joined the conversation for the Japan with the Mr. Steve Alamono Party, well, Samaju, my intention has shown to Philip Brown, peace. Philip Brown is a smart, guy in Labrador. Because what Mr. Barker is doing in this country, some of us, we are fed up with it. And Mr. Barker should know that we are in Labrador, we hold guns. We hold guns in this country. So you shouldn't feel like
you held gun. You held gun.
Hello.
You held gun.
Exactly.
So you fought in a war.
Yeah, I was saying we all fought in a war. So he shouldn't feel like because he control the police and the army just do reckless in our country. We're not condone any recklessness. So Philip Brown, maybe his peace, Mr. Baga will see a peace and govern himself. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, former President Sirleaf, one day she spent a good deal of time with the former First Lady at Cloud Hope Foundation. That was good. It aspires to the good work that the former First Lady is doing. I can see now why many people in the past would prefer to buy a house or build house, just take their investment to other countries. These same Liberians used to say, oh, they will lead their own country. They didn't want to develop their own country. They didn't want to develop their own country. They're developing other people's countries. That's what we used to hear. I can see now why those people in the past prefer to go out, invest there than in their own country. And you know that what kept Liberia till this day, Liberia, even though Liberia is a developing country, but it is undeveloped by way. over those years. If this country was not a grush-driven country, it gone far with development. Far. Who started encouraging people to come by and start investing at George Weah? Encouraging people to start building here and there, bringing designs from different countries. People say, oh, but then we have a secure environment. During Ellen's time, nobody had any time or anything like putting a block in the ground. They would prefer go in other countries, do what they can do there, get their investment there, because they felt that if they had done it here, they seen people who were saying, oh, XYZ are going to go after them. So you can see now while Liberia is underdeveloped, people prefer to carry their money outside, invest there. Then the same Liberians used to say, oh, they want to develop their own country. They prefer to go develop another people's country. They were not doing it because they love the other people's country more than Liberia, but this is what they saw. When you invest in Liberia or you attempting to invest in Liberia, they say, oh, you steal the money. Oh, the government money. For typical Liberian thinking, typical Liberian mentality, don't do anything. Just be poor. Just look that kind of wretched and reckless. Then they will say, yeah. When Liberian men, typical Liberian men see you, you dress good, they vex. That person vex. That's a typical Liberian mentality. You should not look good. You should not have your own house. Do you know that people in this country, when they tell a friend, I build my house, the friend can get vexed. The friend can be uneasy with him. Because the typical mentality, once it is not a man, it should not be another person. So people look into it and say, oh, but then, if that is the case, let's be on the other side. All those people in America, in Europe, in all of those countries, you think they don't have the ability or they did not have the ability to invest in here, in this country, that we are taking this country to another level? But that's what they saw. That's what they saw. What you see happening today, United Party say, let's take that thing from that woman. Let's take it from her. But when they were in power, when people raised concerns about the kind of things they were doing, the little investments, what the justification United Party people were giving, except you were not around that only way. They used to say, yeah, and we investing in the country, yeah, and we investing the money, yeah, and we investing. That's what they used to say as United Party people. That's what they used to say. Clap, we are invested the money in Liberia. United Party said, no, we're taking it in for you. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's presence over there today is what the woman simply sending across is, Bwaka, why you want to do this to our country? Look at countries around the world. I don't think African countries, no disrespect to them, I don't think countries that are close to us, that we share border with, have this kind of structure. Isn't it a plus for us? Taking care of underprivileged children, orphans, peasants, downtrodden children. Why you politicize this thing? You know the kind of future you will be creating that this country will live with for the next 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Former President Sirleaf's presence today and showed that what she was sending to Bwaka by her presence over there, that this initiative is great, it's significant, it's a plus for our country. This woman is a visionary. You take your politics from it. That's what Ellen was simply saying by her presence over there today. The woman was impressed with what she saw. But United Party, Bwaka said no. You broke down CDC headquarters and you're satisfied because the plan from day one was to break down CDC headquarters. They did everything they could. They lied, drugs around there. They sent hundreds of armed men over there. It didn't happen. They were finding a way to exterminate CDC from the face of the earth. It didn't happen. They find another way again and said, this time around, let's just wait. We'll go through the court. We'll speak to the owners of the land to make sure that they are out. We'll use the court. Every time they went to the court, the judge will rule against them. And when the time comes, we will go there. And that was clear in the statement by the police director. He said, we're going in there. We're moving in. We'll break it down. And they went there truly and broke it down. They thought George Weah was going to say something. CDC still exists. We can tell you how countless the events are that Unity Party had always. Unity Party first 12 years, y'all go check the record, that shooting at CDC headquarters, they thought George Weah was on that stage. The plan was to shoot George Weah to bring him down. But it did not happen. God took George Weah from there. Every time CDC plans something against George Weah, he's never around. What does that tell you? God is leading him. Every time God serves as the protective shield. You check that event, you watch the event or it is available, you go on YouTube. You say, they thought that George Weah was there, that identical place, that shooting in that identical area, but Weah was not there. God protected him. That's what Psalm 23 is all about. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, that death was just a shadow. They have not rested. And George Weah knows now that going into 2029, Unity Party has a plan against him. God does not need to tell George Weah. No, God does not need. He does not even need to send Daniel to come and interpret the signs on the wall. George Weah knows, George Weah is aware of the future going against Unity Party in 2029. And George Weah is ready. If anybody would think that George Weah is just silent or afraid of anybody in this country, you must be in a dream world. Everybody can respond the same way, the same time, but everybody can respond. When George Weah gets ready, you will see George Weah is not afraid of Joseph Yuma Boakai. He is not afraid of anybody in Unity Party. Just stick that in your head. If anybody thinks that former President George Weah is afraid of them, you are mistaken. Then you should be living in the world of utopia. George Weah is not afraid of Joseph Yuma Boakai, but George Weah respects him. George Weah is not afraid of anybody below Joseph Yuma Boakai, but he respects them. They are leaders of this country, and George Weah respects them for that, just as he was the president of this country. Hence, nobody should take George Weah cool for stupidity. Nobody should take George Weah silence for weakness. Certainly not. George Weah is not a weak man. He's not the talking type, but he knows how. He allows his soup to get cold before he drinks it. If anybody would think that George Weah is afraid of Joseph Yuma Boakai because Joseph Yuma Boakai is the president of Liberia, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. George Weah only respects Joseph Yuma Boakai. But he is not afraid of him. The only person that George Weah is afraid of is God. And that's why he does what is right in the sight of God. It is reaching the boiling point. Enough is enough. There's this saying people have. They say when somebody picking at you all of the time, and you're not responding, they will think that they are strong more than you. The day you face up to them getting a double slap, they will never ever try it again. They will know from that day that you are a serious-minded man. You're taking it for a joke. The day George Weah gets ready, God in heaven himself will be in front of George Weah, behind George Weah, on George Weah, two extremes. God himself. Oh, yeah, God. This country, this country, God himself just giving this country some time to repent of certain things. Meaning the grudge, the hate, the envy. That's why James asked, he said, where all this strife, envy, malice coming from against you? I mean, from you. Where? And anger does not help anybody. Hate, grudge, malice. It only eats the vessel that stole it. It doesn't affect the vessel that you think you're pouring it on. In this case, Unity Party anger, Joseph Iman Boaga anger against George Weah, it's not affecting George Weah. It's not affecting that vessel. It is affecting Joseph Iman Boaga because it is within him. He's nursing it. He's rehearsing it. He's conversing it. You know, we are in school, we relax. But nobody should take we are silence for stupidity. Nobody should take we are silence for weakness. Weah is not afraid of Joseph Iman Boaga. He's not afraid of any Unity Party person. As much as he's not the talking tab, it doesn't say that people can do anything whichever way you want to do it. No. We have respected your yell. We have protected your. We have did everything in his human self and as president for you people. That should not. Assuming state leadership doesn't give you the audacity to now trample on his rights, to now evade his humanity. No. Don't reach to that point, Chief. Don't. As much as everything is cordial, let us keep it cordial. When you mock at your friend all of the time, God himself can get on that friend's side to go against you who mocking him. And God can do it in a way that you will be disgraced by way. I see you. That's it. So let's give you the anthem, yeah? You say your own, we say our own. George Manning Weah returns to the presidency 2029. And we are not saying it, we are working towards it. We are exposing, we are analyzing, we are educating, we are winning political swords, we are reviving, we are crusading, we are doing everything. Everything. You can say whatever you want to say. You say your own, we are not coming back, we say our own. George Manneh Weah, former president, Republic of Liberia, returns to the presidency 2029. Simple. In 2029, just as I said today, again, I told a group of guys, they were saying, oh, when they see me, they'll call me CDC journalist. So they think when they say it that way, I am jitter, I am uneasy, uncomfortable. So we in a gathering, they're talking from one end to another, Bwaka achievement. Then the other one say, you're a CDC journalist. Yeah, carry on your King's FM, go talk it. And my response to them was, this is how I shut their mouths. I said, Chief, I don't say what I say on the radio. I say also what I say, what I say also I say on the radio. I said, I've repeatedly said, and and you people have heard it, that Joseph Human Bwaka can turn this country into heaven. It would never give him the presidency 2029. And let me say again, you stick it in your ears, everybody. And I know they're listening again because they can listen. Unfortunately, they can listen to their own stations. Fortunately, they listen to us. That means we are impactful. Yeah, it's it. Joseph Human Bwaka can turn this country, Liberia, into heaven. Even more than heaven. It would not give him 2029. Did you people get it? Unity Party people? Joseph Human Bwaka can turn this country into heaven. It would never give him 2029. Never. You Unity Party people, you will sit down and say, yeah, human being deceitful for true. All the things that Bwaka did, the people ain't vote for the man. You'll be moving. You'll be excited because you're in government. You're enjoying. Some of you, your parents, your uncle, niece, whatever you're associated, you're within the realm of the government. You people are supporter of the government. Yes. But you people never comfortable with this expression. We're not moved by your expression that we are not coming back. We've already know the meaning of your expression. We know we have said it, and you know that what you mean. When you say we are not coming back, you know that you're not admitting, you're not saying that we are does not have the strength. You people not saying that we are does not have the ability. You people know that we are has the ability. You acknowledge we are witness politically. You know everything, but you can beat we are in a fair, competitive contest. So you think you will use what you have available to you or at your disposal, then you will retain. No. Chief, you don't go that side. You don't dream about that side. Not at all. So we say our own. George Manneh Weah returns to the presidency 2029. George Manneh Weah returns to the presidency 2029. 2029. So you can do all that you can. We are not coming back. We know what is it. You see, you people not smart. You not smart. You expose yourselves. You expose everything yourselves too early. Yeah. You need to party now mature for true. When you want to do something, you can stop. Come on. You don't say them good. You don't do nothing good. Yeah, we are not coming back. We are not coming back. We are not coming back. Oh, so everybody knows you're playing right there. Even some of your very Unity Party people, they are afraid. They know that you are not. You do whatever you can. But listen, Listen, be reminded. You'll be reminded. Be reminded.
Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that Joshua is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that Joshua is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that Joshua is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that Joshua is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that Joshua is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that Joshua is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. Joshua would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that Joshua is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that Joshua is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that Joshua is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that Joshua is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. I can tell you, this is a bad example.
So we already aware, we know you people expose yourselves too early. We know your plan. We on top of every plan from you people. We know what your expression means. George Weah will not return to the presidency. He will never come back, as if that your personal property, that Unity Party dynasty. I can see why. And your comical of a pastor or comedian of a pastor called chairman will sit on a national radio and say Unity Party will be in power for 200 years. Not 200 years because you have the ability. 200 years because that we have everything. We have the political machinery, we have the military machinery, we have the police machinery, we have the financial machinery, we have everything. That's what you are saying. Chief, no intimidation, no harassment, no intimidatory atmosphere, free, fair, credible elections. George Weah beat Joseph Human Boaka flat. Take it or leave it. You have election today. You will see it. Free, fair, credible, non-intimidatory atmosphere. George Weah beat Joseph Yeman Boaka pens down with a golf margin. I ain't saying tsunami. I said golf. I'm using the word that God used. 4 gap golf margin. Take it for joke. You tell your own to our own. You say we are not coming back. We agree. They say we are returns told the presidency. I see you. Oh, okay. The world's greatest team is playing tomorrow. Amen. Amen. Everybody. So what kind of team? Yeah. Hey, Lord. Heavenly Father, please. You got to intervene. What happened in Spain? So now we know how Real Madrid carry all of those cups. The people too dull and fissy. Amen. Why the people, why La Liga referees will be pampering Real Madrid? And they say the giant, look at that thing last night. That thing, that penalty, you gave the whistle to an 8-year-old Cha, and nothing happened, he will never call for penalty. I can see why Real Madrid players, their strikers are just lazy. Everything they fall down, just like a baby fall down on a bed. Amen. That thing a penalty again. The beginning of finish with Real Madrid with a draw. The referee say, I will find something away. In fact, we're giving you a VRS, we're giving you 9 minutes to play. The guy who, Gil Manzano, the one that handled Barcelona game against Real Sociedad, and he did all of those awful things for Real Sociedad to get it so that Barca would drop points and Madrid come close. He's suspended. Y'all go check it up. He's suspended. The new rule they introduced on referee appraiser. Referee appraiser. I'm saying it this way, but that's not how you are the Spanish way. I'm just putting it in English. Referee appraiser. Appraiser means to assess one's performance or somebody's performance. It is mainly for another person. So they introduced a new rule in La Liga. They have a special team within the referee committee that monitors the performance of a referee in every game. If you are under par, they take a decision to either allow you to rest for the weekend. That means the entire week, if they had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games playing, you will not ref. You will sit down so that you will review previous games, see your errors, so that when you come back, you will be professional, because anything short of professionalism, it impinges on the reputation of the league. Because one of the reasons they gave, FIFA make a determination on taking referees to the World Cup based on your domestic performance. So FIFA too have a team of professional referees into a committee that monitors these games. Well, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Inter Milan, Napoli, all of those top games, those top European teams in the domestic leagues, they have team that monitoring. Watch it. If you've been following the World Cup, the past World Cup, and even the one before the one that just ended, what did the people say? That I think they took only 2, if I'm not mistaken, only 2 from Spain. Only 2. They took 1 from England. Why? Because they did not find referee of standard in terms of professional refereeing to take to the World Cup. England had only 1 representative. Spain had only 2. The rest came from the other leagues. So with the World Cup in June, La Liga said, let's try to find a way so that we can have most of our referee going to the World Cup, because it will be plus for the league. Let's have a team in place to monitor referee performance, because FIFA is monitoring too. They introduced that rule. If that Gil Manzano, just go Google it. Just ask for that Gil Manzano. You see it. He's suspended from that awful performance. They are currently looking at this one who handled Rayo Vallecano and Real Madrid match. We say good. At least La Liga now is going somewhere. But just so you know, the world's greatest team is on tomorrow at 8 p.m. FC Barcelona. The people who beat Real Madrid, small beginner. Our beginner in the era. That those small beginner. Eh? It is that funny. The people all the way to 18th place in second division, that they put beat Madrid, they put Madrid all Madrid squad playing. That the people back up playing on today, today Monday, Tuesday. Back up playing on Tuesday, 8 p.m. The quarterfinal, the world's greatest, FCB. All my FCB fans, hi to y'all. All right. That one we're getting 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. FCB. Okay, this is how we go home. Let's say happy birthday, pre-birthday to my dear sister, Emilia Lulu Keto of Corwell Samoka Time. Your birthday is on tomorrow, the 4th of February. God bless you. Have a great day with your celebration. Lulu, enjoy yourself. Make the most of it. Yes. Enjoy your day. When your birthday comes, make the most of it. Birthday is just as significant as graduation, as wedding, just everything is just special. This is how we go home, man. Thank you ever so much for being with us. The news is on at 6. Join us at 6 o'clock for the news, King's Newsroom. You don't want to miss it. The latest developments are coming up. And then at 6:50, Isiaka Sharif and Josephine Pello Johnson are in with CDC Hour. And that will take us to 8 o'clock when the light of the nation, the teacher of the land, the evangelist, Anthony Atlaw, A.B. Will, with Face the Issues. Until then, if God permits, we're back tomorrow. This is how we go home.
We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular with global connections. From the slums to the world stage, shining, legend of our generation. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular on global connections. Bringing pride to the Lone Star, bringing hope to the nation. Started in Claratown with nothing but a dream. Played with rag balls, leading the team. Then Europe saw the talent. Monaco to Paris, Milan. The only African Ballon d'Or, a shining gifted man. AC Milan superstar flying high in the air. But his heart was in Liberia, a love beyond compare. When the country was broken, he stood in the gap, putting Liberia on the world map. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular with global connections. From the slums to the world stage, shining, legend of our generation. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular and global connections. Bringing pride to the Lone Star, bringing hope to the nation. He didn't just play soccer, he played for peace. Giving voice to the voiceless, making violence cease. Are you an ambassador with a heart so kind? Leaving no one, absolutely no one behind. He met Nelson Mandela, the African pride. With the people of Liberia always by his side. From the pitch to the Senate, to the high seat of state. He's a man of the people, deciding our fate. Oh, they know his name in London and Rome, but his love is for the children in his homeland home. He connects the world through football and grace, building bridges for a better place. We are is loved by the people, yeah. Very popular with global connections. From the slums to the world stage, shining, legend of our generation. We are is loved.